All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of the performance training class. Apologies for joining late. Please confirm you can hear me.
Hi, Udemy, we can hear you.
Yeah, can hear you.
All right, guys.
Yes.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. I'm just going to give Toby the good evening, Toby. Apologies for joining in late. Be made co-host. Over to you.
All right, thanks. Good evening, everyone. Just give me like 3 minutes for us to get started. Yeah.
All right, guys, while we await Toby photos, can we do a quick recap of what we learned yesterday? For those who were with us yesterday, can you give a brief summary of what you were reminded of for those who were not new to performance testing, and also for those who were new to it, who just started yesterday? Can you tell us a bit about what you learned? Anyone?
Yes, I learned. Okay, can I go?
Yes, please.
Okay, I learned the. I learned that performance testing checks the scalability of the system, the stress level during the peak period, how the system will be able to handle traffic, and during maybe like okay, if it's a e-commerce site, maybe during their promo period, during their promo period, they have a lot of users. So performance testing checks how the application or the software is going to handle such scenarios when they arise.
All right, thanks a
Okay.
lot, Philip.
Yeah.
Sorry, were you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, you didn't tell us if you were new, if it was your first time yesterday, or you had some knowledge of
No,
it.
sorry, this is my first time. That was my first time.
All right, great. Well done. Were you able to set up JMeter? Were you able to run, set up basic test plan, thread group, samplers, listeners? Were you able to do that?
It's just this evening I've able to install the JMeter, able to install the Java, and I'm trying to run the other queries also.
All
So I
right.
can set, but let's say I'm 80% done.
All right. Well done. Thanks, Philip.
Thank you.
Anyone
Thank you.
else? Toby, you can let me know. You can take over once you're ready. Anyone else? Was your first time or you are not completely new to it? but yesterday was a refresher. Anyone else wants to share?
Okay, yeah. I want to. My first time in performance testing. So we talked about, like Philip said, what performance. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can, Joyce.
Okay, what performance testing are. It also said that performance testing helps to determine the scalability of a software and also the responsiveness of a software. And we also talked about the types of performance testing, which ranges from the load testing, the stress testing, mentioned the endurance testing as well, the spike testing and the scalability testing, and also mentioned the importance of testing, which is the importance of performance testing, which is number one, to prevent system failure. So you want to check if the system can carry the load and the stress of that particular application to prevent failure and also improve the user experience. So when you perform the performance testing, you'll be able to improve the user's experience of that particular app as well, and also business continuity. You also mentioned about optimize infrastructure costs. So when you perform performance tests, you'll be able to optimize costs for that particular application as well, and then also identify performance bottlenecks. And myself, I've been able to also install the J meter, but I've not been able to, run it. But I've downloaded it and installed it, and after I'll go through it. Thank you.
All right, well done, Joyce. Great one. I see Toby Photos is ready for us, so over to you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, where's my... All right, please confirm you can all see my screen and hear me loud.
Yeah, we can see your screen now loud and clear.
Okay, cool. All right, so today is more practical, like we mentioned yesterday, and I'm also glad we all followed through yesterday's session, and I was listening to all our contributions. All right, cool. So again, once again, I think we should all, thank Ants for this wonderful opportunity that they've given to us. And I also want to encourage us for everything we've been learning from the very beginning, day one. Let's put it to work, let's put it to practice, because the truth is, one thing about testing is the more you engage yourself, the more have, like hands-on experience on everything you've learned, the better you become. The theoretical is good, but it's something you can easily forget. But anything you learn and you put to practice, it usually sticks. And the more you practice, the better you become. So I'm just trying to advise us to not sleep over everything we've learned once you conclude this training and you feel, yes, you've acquired that knowledge. Trust me, anything you leave will definitely leave you. So let's continue to practice. Practice makes better. And when we started, there are no opportunities like this for us. In fact, we learned the hard way. I had to learn performance testing on my own, watching videos, practicing, and that could take a very long while. And everything you guys are learning in 2 days, it took some of us months, like 6 months to learn it on our own. You get so again, I'm just trying to encourage us to, after the training, keep practicing. When you talk, ask questions, and before you know it, you're an expert in it. All right. I also want to believe we've all installed JMeter on our laptop. So I want everyone to launch their JMeter and we can get started. So if you haven't done so,
Please, hello, can you hear me?
yes. Can.
Sorry, my laptop has been giving me serious issues. Is it possible to use Jmeter on an iPad?
No, it's not. It's not.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so I'll just give us 1, 2 minutes to launch Jmeter on our laptop, then we can proceed.
Hi, Mr. Toby. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, please, I need help.
Oh,
Yesterday, I was able to install my Gmeter to my Windows, yeah, and right now I'm trying to I pinged it on my taskbar yesterday night, yeah. But now I'm trying to open it up. I can't find it. So when I come to the Windows to search for JMeters, I'm seeing another interface entirely. I'm not seeing like what it's displaying on the screen now, because I saw exactly like what you're displaying on the screen yesterday, like this interface. What I'm seeing right now is different. So I want to know if I'm doing something wrong.
okay. Did you say you installed it or you downloaded the
I
folder?
downloaded it rather and I extracted it.
Okay, so when you extracted it, do you know the directory it is? Maybe your downloads, documents.
Yeah, it was on my download yesterday. So when I saw it on my download, I clicked on the bin. That was when I
So
launched the JMeter for Windows, and it came up.
yeah, so
Now
can,
I
can
can't
we
even
repeat,
find. Okay.
can we repeat the process that you just highlighted? So go back to your downloads, navigate to your bin, and click on the jmeter.bat file. I think that should launch it for you.
Well, I've done that. I did not find it.
Is it that you
Please, Deborah, send me a message on Slack. It's
okay?
okay. Respond. Take a screenshot of your bin folder and send it to me on Slack.
Probably maybe she dragged the file away from her bin, but yeah, you'll be sorted. All right. Okay. So now that we've all launched JMeter, so there's this site that we can also use to practice. I'm going to drop it on the chat. Yeah, so it's called gores.co.in. So there are a lot of we find a few REST APIs that you can practice with. Let me drag my browser here so we can see. Okay. Yeah, so this is the website. It has some REST APIs we can, play around with. So so for example, like this list user now, what you can do is you can first, open this on your Postman. If you navigate to your Postman, I don't know if you've been taught how to import code, but no knowledge is waste, is a waste. So I just paste the URL here and click on enter. Yep, so which collection do I want to store this? I should have created a new one. All right, so I import it here. Yeah, so this is the list user um, request. So one thing I usually do back then too, when I'm stuck on my JMeter, probably I'm trying to run a request and it's not giving me what I want. What I normally do is I come to JMeter to run that test. Because JMeter, yes, the UI is user friendly. I can easily run my tests here compared to JMeter. So sometimes when I'm stuck on JMeter and I'm having issues getting the right response, I come to my Postman, run the request, and make sure everything is fine. Then, I tried, fix whatever mistake I might have made. Okay, so the first requests I would like us, okay, yeah, so back to our JMeter. So we have our test plan here. So the first thing I want us to do is to create a thread group. So we need to add our thread group. So right click on your test plan, then you go to add. Once you right click on your test plan, you see add, then inside add you have your thread user, then navigate to your thread group. So once we've done that, just click on thread group, then we find it here. I wish I can see our Zoom. Let me see if I can bring it down there. So added your thread group. You can just do like a thumbs up or, drop something on the chat. So how do I maximize my Zoom? It's like I'm stuck.
You want to maximize what? Sorry.
My Zoom. I
Okay,
have
we
too
see
many
your
screens.
wallpaper though. So we can't see Zoom. We're not seeing the Zoom interface. We're seeing the picture of you.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to search for. I have too many screens that I don't even know where my Zoom is. Mm, I think I'll just go on. So, okay. Man. Cool. All right. So far we have 4 people that have been able to add a thread group. Um, okay, making 5, 6, 7, 3 more, and we proceed. 8. Yeah, so like I said, on your JMeter, right click on your test plan, navigate to add, navigate to thread user, and click on your thread group. So once we've done that, the next thing is to add our sampler. So this time around, you're right clicking on your thread group, click on add, click on sampler, navigate to sampler, then hover on HTTP request. And once you've done that, just click on your HTTP request. So again, you right click on your thread group, over on the add, navigate to sampler, and click on HTTP request. Now, once we've done that, the next thing we want to add is our listener. So again, you right click on your thread group, over on add, then navigate to listener, then we select view result tree. We can decide for this training, we can decide to add at least maybe 3. So I'll repeat the same step for listeners. I'll right click on my thread group, go to add listener, this time summary reports. I think I'm fine with this too. Okay, so I'm reason why I'm bringing us back to Postman, because in some cases, when you are given like an API documentation, be it Swagger or Postman collection, what that means is that you have to, import your request from um, Postman or Swagger and manually add it to your JMeter. Although there are tools that we can also use to convert um, Postman collection or Swagger collection into GMX files. But I'm not sure if those tools are free. I haven't used anyone before. My normal approach is either I record my script using BlazeMeter or I just get my collection from Postman or Swagger. All right, so the first request that I want to add is my list user. It's a get method, and this is the API collection, the API URL, including the endpoints. So if I take us back to the website that I was getting it from, it's this gorex.co.in. All right, so moving on. So the first thing I want to do is copy out this part. And where's my post? Okay, yeah. So I go to my JMeter. So this first request, let's name it list user. Let's rename it to list users. And once we've done that, the next thing is, in case I'm too fast, you can please slow me down. So the next thing is to select the HTTP request or method type. So from our Postmark collection, you can see that it's a get method. So this time around, we are using a get method. And the protocol, the server, I'm going to paste it here. Here's my JMeter like this. Yeah, I don't know where a minute, please. I'm trying to rearrange my JMeter. Probably let me just quit and relaunch it. Oh, no, 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 no. This is strange. So I'm relaunching my JMeter. So,
So please, Mr. Toby.
yeah, I'm with you.
So in the add option, I say we should add sampler. Please, I can't find sampler on my own, but I can see other options like timers, listeners, assertion, test fragments, trends, users, and others. But I can't see samplers there.
Okay,
Under that add.
okay, I'm going to retake it. Just give me a few seconds. So for unknown reason, my JMeter UI is displaying in a way I don't understand. Let me launch it from here. I think we just try and manage this. Because I'll need to be scrolling hand to hand for you guys, and I don't really like the UI. I don't know why this is happening. So yes, so the first thing is I said we had our thread groups. So I right click on test plan, go to thread users and select thread group. Then next is to add our samplers. I right click on my thread group, go to add samplers. Then I see HTTP request. And the next thing is to add our listeners. So I right click on my thread group, go to add. Now, if I scroll down, I'll see listener. So please confirm you can see listener on your own hand too. Then I select any of these listeners. All right, so moving on. So I asked us to rename this first sampler to list user, which I've done. Then checking from either Postman or the websites, we can see that it's a get method. So I ensure that the HTTP request I selected is a get method. Then the protocol is HTTPS. So I can decide to add that here. And next is the server name or IP, which is more like, say, the base URL or the API URL, which is this URL I'm copying from here. Cool. Done. So now I want to try something. Let me save this and see the output. Okay. I was expecting this. Yeah, says no. All right. Where is that? Okay. Okay, so I was saying no this time around. Go back to our, okay, so let me move on this guy. I was still getting no.
The protocol is not there. That's the HTTPS.
Oh, there before. Oh, okay, I removed it. Yeah, this is a get method, so this should be fine. The village people have come.
Yeah, if you run it, I think it was given 401, not authorized. Yeah.
Not unauthorized. Yeah, that's expected. So let me. Yeah, so someone asked question on how to add um authorization token. So let's quickly do that. So let me call you. So I'm going to right click on my thread user. Then look for my HTTP header manager. I think that should be under config elements. Yeah. So if you right click on your thread group, now again, you see why I said sometimes when you are having issues on your JMeter, just run your request on Postman. Postman tells you what the exact issue is. So, okay, all right. So it's good to just check what could be the issue. So now we could see that it has to do with not being authorized. So let me just quickly think of yep. So okay, yeah. So I have the authorization token. I think let's see this token. Much over time. Let me just copy out the authorization token and share with us on the chat. This is my Jamie. Yeah, so this is the okay. Need to that once we've done that, it's going to show this interface had authorization to content type. So while we're doing that too, on Postman, I can decide to add my authorization token. So let me even test the token just to be sure it's still working. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Authorization, there token, paste and send. So the token is still working, so you'll be fine. You can use it. All right, so let's right click on our thread group, go to config element and select HTTP, where is it? HTTP header manager. I've added it already, I've seen it here. So once you've added it, you see this add button at the bottom. Click on it, and inside it, type in authorization. And please be careful you don't miss out on any letter, because if you do, it might not work. So once we've typed in authorization, the token I shared, let's paste it in the value field. Then we do the same for content type. It is here. Let me paste it on the chat. Even sometimes it's good to just copy and paste rather than typing so you don't make mistake.
Yes, sorry.
Yep.
I don't go far. There are a number of questions in the chat. There's Ade Twins with how can we get authorization token if not given? Not quite sure what he means by that. If you have
Okay.
an API request that requires authorization, then the request will provide the token in the response body. Then there's the
Yeah.
second question from Vivian. She says maybe you should walk through the flow again, that she's struggling. I think you're a bit fast for her. So if you can just take the flow again one more time.
Okay. All right, I can do that. Yes. So ideally, get your authorization token. They are meant to probably log in on run the login request, and that generates a token that you need to extract and reuse. In my own case, I don't really have, an API that I can use to demo that right. I mean, to teach us that right now. So I still don't know how we're going to cross that bridge, but I'm going to explain how to go about it anyway. So the same way, uh, for those of us that are already versed with API testing, when you want to run a token, so usually there's likely like a login request that you need to first execute or run, and the response you see authorization token. So I can quickly show us some samples. And this is when I run this request, there's already there to my what it does is it goes and fetch, my token for Postman. We're going to talk about Jamie Town. So let's just go to Jamie Town. Let me go to my file, new. Okay, so now I have a new fresh project, and the first thing I'm going to do is to add my thread user. So I right click on test plan, navigate to add, navigate to thread user and select thread group. Next, I'm going to add my sampler, my HTTP request, which stands as our samplers. So I right click on my thread group, navigate to add, go to sampler, and I select HTTP request. So this first sampler, I'm going to rename it to list user, because that's the first request we are trying to execute. So the next thing is I'm going to add my listener. By right-clicking on the thread group, navigating to add, and scroll down to listener. So I'm going to add just the first two, view results tree and summary reports. Now, initially, I think when we're trying to run these requests, it was returning error. So we realized that we needed to include authorization token. So to do that, you need to right click on your thread group, navigate to add, then scroll down to config elements. Then you should look for HTTP header manager. Good. Now, so this HTTP header manager, I told us that we should add two things. One is the content type, which is application JSON, and its second one is our authorization. So how do we do that? Once I'm on my HTTP header manager, I click on the add button, and I can see the name value and the name field and the value field. So on the name field, I'm going to type in my content, where did I post it? My content type. And also note that these fields are case sensitive. So it should be starting with C. Let it be capital C and T as well. Then the value, which is application JSON, I'm just going to copy it. Application slash JSON and paste
Sorry,
here.
please, where are you copying it from?
So I dropped it on the Zoom chat for us.
Oh,
I'm resend it again. So the
yes,
first one is the
please. Thank
content
you.
type and application JSON. Then I also shared the authorization
Sorry,
token.
we can see your screen. We can see your weather photo.
Oh, okay. Um, all right. Let me reshare my screen. Please confirm you can see it now.
Yeah. We can see. Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay. Yeah, so we are still on the HTTP header manager. So we need to add our content type, and the value is application JSON. So just the same way on Postman that some of your tests can require some headers. It's the same thing we are doing on JMeter. So these are sample headers that might be required, like what you accept language, cookie, and so on. So if I do content type, this is Postman is more user friendly compared to JMeter. So if I just type in application, I already see what I'm looking for my Postman. So it's still the same flow, just different user interface. So once we've added our content type and application JSON, the next thing we need to add is our authorization. So again, you click on the add button and you see this empty field. That's where we add our authorization. And on Postman, you can add your authorization here. or you do it inside your header. So here too, I can just type authorization, then I pass in
Toby,
the
there's a
token.
hand up. Akimbi, do you have a question? Was that a mistake?
Yeah, I wanted to ask that situation whereby will you name the key to be bearer token, will it still work or must it be authorization? That's the
No,
key name here.
yes, so if it's a bearer token, you need to name it inside your value, not on the name field. So
No,
you have,
like the name of this under this the name column, that's the key. Can we
no,
is it a must to name it authorization or we can also call it bearer token while we
no,
pass the token itself under the value?
no, it won't work that way. It's a must you name it authorization.
Okay.
Yeah. So just the same way on Postman, if I want to add my authorization inside my header, I won't put bearer here. It won't work. I have to do authorization first. Then let's say it's a bearer token. I can decide to first type in my bearer, then paste in my token in front. If it's a JWT token, I'll do this. So that's how it works.
Sorry, is it compulsory that you're imputing these things both on your postman and your JMeter at the same time?
No, it's not
Okay.
compulsory. I'm just using
Sorry, I
Postman
didn't
to
quite catch that.
explain how this thing works, you know. So why I'm using Postman again is it's sometimes not some it's easier to troubleshoot on Postman than on JMeter. I said the Postman user interface is very user friendly, is compared to JMeter. So the first time I ran this test that was failing, I didn't know why until I came here to run the tests and I realized that it has to do with token. So I advise that sometimes when you are struggling with a request on JMeter and it keeps failing, it's okay to try replicate it on JMeter and see where the issue might be coming from. Okay, so now that I've typed in my authorization, then I need to get a token which is on our Zoom chat. That is our Zoom mode. Okay. Yep. So I'm going to paste it here. So let's do the same. Add a new field, name it authorization, and paste in the token. Dari,
Okay, I wanted to ask earlier, authorization came before content type. I hope it doesn't matter
it doesn't matter.
because I was following you earlier and I saw that you changed it now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so moving on, back to our sampler, which is list user. So all we've just done is to add a sampler and rename it. So now we need to add the server name or IP, which is a URL, and confirm the method, which is get, which is fine. So if I go to my postman again, so I'm going to send this to us on Slack in case we don't have it, sorry, on Zoom. Yep. So this is list user. All right. So sorry, let me so don't include the HTTPS while adding it to your. Let me resend it so I don't confuse us. So I'm taking out the HTTPS and leaving it this way.
Sorry, Mr. Toby, are you aware your camera is on?
Are you serious? Oh, sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know. Sorry, how long has my camera been on?
Not up to 5 seconds.
Oh, thank you.
Please, sir, I have a question.
Okay.
Please, after adding the authorization and the token, what next should we do? Are we to save or what?
Yeah, you can save. I can't remember if JMeter could save, but it's better you save. So if you are making changes, just be saving your work.
Okay.
So I'll call this J, no, test one. All right, so I've copied the server name or IP, which is gorest.co.in/public/v2/users v2/user. All right, so to quickly confirm something, where's our breast? Okay, yeah. So now I'm checking all the request URL. So you can see what thing they have in common is up to V2. But to be on the safer side, I'm going to stop at public. So what am I trying to get here? I'm trying to get the base URL for my JMeter. So but if you look at which other one, like this update user now, you notice that from this V2, we have V2 users and this number. That's what differentiates it from this first request. Same thing applies to the delete user. So the endpoint usually change, but the base URL remains the same. So in most cases, you have your base URL in your server name as your server name. So, but first, I'm going to run it without even having the path first, like just the complete URL and see the response we are going to get. Okay, so I'm still doing this no thing. Let me go back to my requests.
Mr. Toby, is it a must the HTTP request should be in small letter?
Yes, it's a must. So give me a second. Where's my thing? Oh, it's an HTTP. It wasn't stated there, but it's fine, Sha. So let's move on. So on the list user, this protocol, it's going to be HTTP, not HTTPS. So let's remove the S in front. And copy out the, where's my this thing? Okay. Yep. Sorry about that. Okay. So I asked us to remove the S in the HTTP protocol. So just HTTP. Then I was talking about our base URL earlier on. And for this request, this is our base URL, gores.co.in. That's the website's URL. Where's the sites? So this just the same way we checked request.in yesterday. So this is also the base URL that you're seeing on the website. So in case you want to practice with this, so just know that this is your base URL. All right, so from the base URL, I extracted the paths. So you remember that this is the full URL we had before, https://gores.co/public/v2/user. So what I'm telling us is that this is our base URL, and that's what I'm putting inside my server name or IP. Now the remaining parts, which is this from this /public to the end, goes to my paths, which is what we have here. And by doing so, if I run my request now, I should see a pass, which is this list user. So again, I can come here and check my response data. I'll change this to JSON. Yeah, so I can see my response. So I can also replicate the same on Postman.
Akimbi, your hand is up.
Sorry,
Okay.
please, wait. Is it possible that you're getting a pass because you already have like your authorization key? Because I'm still not getting a pass.
Yeah, if you don't include the authorization key, it shouldn't pass. Let's play around this authorization. Let me even add like some figures in front, say 1, 2, 3. Let me see if it's going to work. So I play and I run, and it still passes. I want to assume this authorization works with any token. Well, again, it's a demo like testing site. So, but in actual reality, a token, once you generate a token usually expires. In fact, let me even explain that now. Token usually expires. When you generate a fresh token, its has is it's I don't know, but I think the time it takes to expire varies depending on what the organization has configured on their backend server. So we can see that. So let's just use your example, the banking app. You log into your banking app and it's had been inactive for a certain period of time. By the time you come back, it's going to log you out. That's the same way token behaves. So when that token is not in use for a certain period of time, it's going to expire. Meaning, if I try to now run this test again with this same token, it's not going to work. So I'm explaining how token work in actual sense. But because we are using a tutorial or a demo or a sample, dummy, let me use the word dummy API request, he accept any kind of token. That's why it's working. But again, let me empty this token field and see. Okay, on board. Let me empty this token field and save and see if it's going to work. Yeah, it still works. Okay.
Akimbi, your hand is up.
Yeah, so on my own side, I don't know why I'm getting this response of one is failing, the other one is working. So on the thread group, I set the number of threads to be 3, then the ramp up period to be 4, then the loop count to be 1. So I save and then I run the tests. So from the view result tree, I'm getting a success response, a failed response, a success, a failed. Like that's my own experience here. I don't know why that is happening.
So how many HTTP requests do you have? Like, you need to disable the other one. It's running on when you run.
Yeah, that's a very
But
good
I
point.
experienced the same thing here.
How
You know,
many?
if you have HTTP request that more than one, others will fail because you
Oh
not put
yeah, yeah,
anything.
yeah, 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 yeah. Thanks, 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 thanks.
Okay, so you have more than one sampler, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Initially you said we should create two, so
Yeah.
I did that. That I didn't disable the other one. Oh, great.
Okay, cool.
I still don't know why my own is failing. Can't figure out.
Okay. Right. Um, someone said he or she can figure why.
Like my own is still failing when I try to run it and I go and check the view request tree. It's still failing. And I've
Uh,
put in the authorization code. I've put in the parts and everything just like you have, but it's still failing.
okay, so let's quickly do a recap. Confirm the HTTP is the same like mine.
Yes.
The go res or code or high in, there's no HTTPS at the back.
Yes.
Okay. And you have the gets,
Yes.
and your part is starting with a slash.
Yes. And ending with users.
Okay, so this is fine. Then your HTTP header, you have your authorization here, right?
Yes.
And the spellings are correct, and you paste your token inside.
Yes. And I saved.
And save, and it's expected that when we run, it should pass. Yeah,
All right.
you're still seeing the field test, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you
Okay.
click on one of it like this and you check the response, yes, what do you see?
Okay.
Yeah, so make sure you select JSON, then click on this response body. So let's see what's saying.
The response data, right? The
Yeah,
response
click on copy it
body.
and paste it on the chat.
Okay. So the response body under response data. Copying
Yeah.
it now. Let's pasting it in the chat now.
So, um, that's one thing about JMeter. It's not user friendly at all. It's not really passing any message I want to see. Okay, I think we still try come back to you so we don't
Yes.
um yeah. So let's try add another sampler. So this time around, let's right click, add sampler HTTP request again. Remember you can, where is it? Yeah, remember you can drag your request to make it more well arranged. So this time around, we want to do a post. So where is it? Yeah. So let's do this create user. So this is a post request. So and you can see, so it's everything is stated there that requires authorization. The authorization type is a bearer access token. So what am I going to do now? So I go back to my JMeter. I rename this request to create user. Now, the first thing I want to be sure of is the protocol, which is HTTP. The next thing I want to get is the base URL, which I already told us earlier. Where's the URL? So from this go rest, or let me just copy it from this previous one. So I paste it in the server name. The next thing is the HTTP request method. Is it a get? Is it a post? This time around, we are making use of a post. And finally, the paths. So I come here. So I'm going to copy from slash public down to users. How do I copy this guy? Yeah, so that's it. Another thing I could have just done, if I want to probably maybe try it out on my postman, I copy the entire core and I go to my postman under new connection. I click on import and I paste it here, and I select the collection I want to import it into, and I import. So all I just need to do is rename the collection. I'm sorry, the endpoint. I mean the request rather. So I rename it to create user. So everything I need is here. So I can easily copy what I want here, and So back to JMeter. So what's left? We need to pass in our body. So to create a user, it requires a body, which requires a name, a gender, email, and status. So I can easily, it's hard to copy this guy. So I'll just copy it from Postman, or you can just copy everything out and probably paste it somewhere on your editor and just, extract what you need. So let me open my editor. Yes, so I can just paste it on my editor and just copy out what I need. If you don't want to go through the Postman route. So in your Postman, you find it inside your body, just the way it's easier. Yeah. So back to our JMeter, we also need to include this in our body. So on your JMeter, you can see parameter, body, the same way we have params here, we also have body here. So this time around, I click on my body and I paste in the body for this post request. So because if there's no body, it won't work. That means I'm not creating just the same way you want to sign up on an application. So just see this as if you are signing up on an application and you didn't input your email, your gender, your name, and you just create. It's going to return like an error response you get. So if I send this even from Postman, although it's saying invalid token, but let's sort the token first. I'll go back to JMeter soon. So I include this. Yeah. So now if I send, you can see that, okay, now I send email has already been taken, meaning that email has been used before. So what I was explaining earlier, that if you don't include your body and you try to create, it says field email blank, field blank, 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 blank. So you get the same response in the front end. So same thing applies here. If I try to run this request without a body, oh, sorry, I'm supposed to, let me change this to 111. Yes, if I run this request and I go to my result tree, why is it giving me a green? I thought I removed the body. Okay, let me save. Play again. This JMeter is sorry, someone needs to. All right, thank you. Okay, so reality, like I said, if there's no body and you're trying to run your request, it's going to return an error or a response from the server. And the response we are getting for the server is this message: email can't be blank, field name can't be blank, gender can't be blank, But if I include it here, unless I change this email to a new email that doesn't exist, and I send, you can see 201 created, and these are all the fields. So if I apply the same on JMeter, now let me run this. Okay, so this is create user. Oh, I didn't clear the first one. So let me change some data here. So for example, this name, I'm going to name it Akin Ola Then email is
Please,
sorry, come again.
I say, please, can you help send that body on the chat?
Yes, let me do that. Here's our chat. Okay, this is the body, and this is the URL. What else do you need? I think that's all. Yep. Yeah, so hmm, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to troubleshoot something a minute. Okay. Okay. All right. So moving on. So is there anyone that is able to create user on JMeter, or we are still on it?
Still on it. So
Okay.
Hello, Toby.
On
Please,
my
I'm
side,
getting your
sorry,
authentication
can I see your
failed
response?
for creating user.
The response I'm getting here is quite different from what I'm getting on Postman. I don't know why.
Okay. So what's the response you are getting?
So on the JMeter, I'm getting like an array of response, but on Postman just one array. And I've
Okay.
checked my payload that I sent here. It's the same payload that I'm using on Postman, that I'm using
Okay.
on JMeter here.
Okay. So let's quickly set one type. I think I know why. Authorization. Yep. So both application JSON and token.
Sorry, if it's a get, which request is it getting multiple arrays? Because it's a test site, the way you are creating or the way you're testing, someone else is creating, right? So
Yeah.
the list of users might increase with time. You might want to cross-check on
Yeah,
Postman.
he's actually right. I'm experiencing the same. But JMeter has been acting funny, you know. So ideally for this create user now, it's meant to, give us this kind of response. But instead, it's still listing users for us, even after we've, you know, so let me just try this again. Yeah, so that's the issue. And using the same flow on Postman, we get this. Now it's telling us email has already been taken. Then I also noticed on JMeter, again, like I mentioned, I'm suspecting because we are using a dummy, sites to practice this postman, but in reality, it won't work because I know I've been running post performance tests for more than 8 years now, and I've never experienced this. So in reality, it won't work. But probably because we're using a dummy website, that's why it's bypassing or allowing some of these requests to pull through. But again, let's just, but has anyone been able to run the create user and is getting a green?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. That would be our. I want to
Sorry,
ask a
sorry,
question.
sorry, Dari, before you ask, Esther wanted to ask a question.
Okay.
Okay,
Esther,
thank you. I was saying I ran the request, but I got a response authentication failed for create user. So
Same here.
Authentication field, that's
yes.
okay. Yes, so we need to add the authorization. So have you added, have you included this HTTP
Yes, I just did that and I'm still getting the same response.
authentication field? That's
Yes.
okay. I think another thing you can do is you could just do a screenshot of, can we have screenshot on Zoom? Is it possible?
yes, we can.
Yeah, you can just do a screenshot and put it on Zoom. So I'll take a look. Okay, now it's okay. Okay, now I think it's fine. Um so where we missed it earlier, remember when we used HTTPS initially for list user, it was returning error. So I felt it was probably the dummy side that is not doing what it's supposed to do. Then we remove the S. Excuse me. You get so apparently, because if you look at the core, it's an HTTP request. So ideally, the protocol too should be an HTTPS with an S, HTTPS protocol. So so the guy that was running his test earlier and he was getting array of so what you just need to do is change this protocol and add S to your HTTPS. It's going to work this time around.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Oh, nice. So if I run this test now, we can see get list user is passing, but create user is now telling me that all this field cannot be blank. And because it's actually blank, so what I need to do now is to add those fields. Where are they? Where are they? Okay. Yes, it was okay. Yeah, so here it is the body. So if I copy this body and I paste, I should get email already exists because I've used this guy before. Was it
Mr.
this?
Toby,
Yes.
please, if I change my HTTPS, if I add S to it, I'll be getting a failed result. So I need to change it back to S because I need to remove the S rather.
No, ideally the hair should be there. That's the
Yeah, I just
correct.
added S now, but I'm having failed results. But initially it was passing.
Is it for listing
Yes,
create
same thing
user?
here.
What did you say?
Is it for listing user or create user?
For both.
Both are failing, right?
Yes, they are failing now because I added S.
On
Which
my own side, I added S to the protocol for
it
create
was
user,
initially passing,
and the
but
create
now
user
it's
is failing.
failing. So I need
Okay.
to remove it so that my results can pass.
Well,
Same
I
here.
want
I
us
remove the S.
I want us to do the right thing and not
Okay.
yeah. Removing the hairs is actually not the right thing. It's required. So we need to figure out why it's failing so we can, do the right thing. Is it Esther that just spoke or Temitope or someone else?
Abimbola.
Nicola. Okay.
Yes.
So for Temitope and Esther, you guys are having the same issue with creates user.
No, so I removed the S, so now it's not fine. But before, when the S is there, it was failing.
Okay, so let me show us something. So what did I do differently? Let me even have this. Let me duplicate this guy. Then I move it to my get. Is that possible? Nope. So I'm going to delete this. This one is at the door. All right, sorry. So initially, this is what we had. We had our HTTP header manager. Where is it? Config elements. Yep. So initially we had it here. So which is this guy? Let me enable it back. And let me run my test and see the behavior. Okay, but it's still passing for me. I don't know whether it's my version of JMeter. But again, so what I'm explaining to us, you can see in your requests, it's an HTTPS request. So ideally, you should have an S. And in most cases, in most requests, it's usually an HTTPS. So then for crates, so what I wanted to show us is in some cases where the headers might be different. HTTP header manager directly under your sampler. So by just right-clicking the sampler, go to hard, go to config and HTTP header. So you can see now that it's directly under this sampler. So what that means is that any header that this guy needs, this sampler needs, is directly underneath, so it works for it. The one here is more like a global
Am I the only one? I can't hear him again.
I thought I was the only one.
Okay.
Sorry, Udemy, I have a question. I don't know if I can go ahead and ask.
Oh, guys, sorry. I lost my internet for some few seconds. Yeah, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, Mr. Toby, sorry. So, are we saying that performance testing is majorly testing the response time of these endpoints? Or can we also test the response time of, let me say, you're on the landing page and you click on the About Us page. Can you use this JMeter to test the response time from the landing page to the About Us page? Is that possible?
Yes, it's so wait, sorry, I lost. track of your question. So your question is, are we
Can I come
using?
again?
Please come again. Yeah, go again. Come again. Yeah, are you asking your question? So if I hear you
We
correctly,
can't hear you, David.
so I think what David was asking is, do we use JMeter to just test the response time? The answer is no. Yeah, response time is part of what we use it in testing, and we can also use it to load, to stress, to check for spikes, scalability, and all. Then he also has a question like, can we use JMeter to test, I think like a flow, let's say on an e-commerce site where a customer logs in, search for an item, add the items to cart, proceed to checkout and make payments. Yes, you can load test this flow using JMeter. Is David there? Just to be sure I answered your question.
Sorry, I lost. I was lost. Oh, I was locked out. I was logged in back now.
Okay, ask your question again.
So I said, are we saying that performance testing is majorly testing the response time of the endpoint, or can
Okay.
we test the response time of our web page? Let's say you're on the landing page and you click on the About Us page. Can you test the time the About Us page will use to respond? Is that possible?
Yes, you can use it to test any page. Yeah, any page on your website.
Okay. So
And
if we are testing navigating from our home page, which is our landing page to our About Us page, this HTTP request get, is that what we're going to still use, or we have to change this?
it now depends on the page you are calling. So, for example, the About Us page is likely a GET request because you are just pulling a page content, not
Okay.
like you are creating or you are signing up, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Noted. Thank you.
yeah, most cases you'll be given the what's it called, the documentations, or if you
Mm.
use record and play, it will get the
Okay.
correct, method for you.
Okay. 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 Thank you. That's well understood.
All right. So I was saying if you had one more sampler, this time around, let's add the update user. So I've added my HTTP request and I'm changing it, renaming it to update user. And
Sorry, I'm sorry to drag you
yeah,
back. How did you get the create user 12? Did you change the authorization? I knew you were explaining that, but you didn't eventually show us what you did to. I know you created the header manager just under it, but did you tweak the
no,
fields in the header manager under create user?
no, I didn't. Okay, I think I
You
just,
added the error
but again, let me even remove it and see because I've not been using Dara. Um, okay, yes.
because I know you told us to add the S in the
Yeah.
HTTPS.
So let me take out this barrier and see the behavior. Save. So authentication failed this time around. Okay. Let me just take us back to where I started from. I'm removing this guy. It wasn't there before. I remember I disabled this one. So it was, so initially this is where when we're having issues. So let me just revert it back. So there was no heads. The HTTP header was without barrier. So let me now run this request. So create user. So this was the issue we are having before. It was listing it for us. Yeah. So now let's troubleshoot it back. So first, let me add the S in front and see the behavior. So I save and I clear, then I run. So now it's saying authentication failed. I'm
Yes.
already now saying authentication failed because it's a bearer token. So we need to also include the bearer token in front with a space. Now, if I save and run this time around, it should pass. So reason why it's failing now is saying email already been taken. So I need to change the email to something different. And if I run now, it's going to pass and we're going to see again. Yeah. If I try to run again, I should get email already exists because we've created a user with this current email. If I run now, I'm going to see a red saying email already exists. Are we good now?
Can I see the HTTP header manager again, like how you input it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
because I just added Bear to my site too, and I'm still
I didn't
getting
You mentioned
accept
authentication.
there,
it.
so
let
I
me
just
pause on the chat.
I'm even
Hello,
getting
sir. Good evening. Can I ask a
accept.
question, please, sir?
Okay.
Yes, go ahead. Where's my phone?
Okay. I have this question, although I've dropped it in message, so you have not replied. In the issue that somebody want to load test a create account like 500 user or 100 user and above, it might be stressful for one putting the record each manually. Then how can one run uh, such number of users like this? This one email already exists, so it assume someone want to do something like 500 user now and want to avoid this duplicate record. How can one do it seamlessly without making it manually?
Yeah, that's a good question. So there's a way you can generate random variables on your data. Excuse me. So what was it called
Okay.
again? So you can use user-defined variables. Where do they find this? Let me write it down now. Yeah, so under your config, this can also help to generate random variables, you know. So for example, let's say you want to generate random emails, you can deal with this. It helps you generate random variables. There's also a way you can have scripts too. I can't remember what that is. What do they call it again?
Hello,
Um,
Mr. Toby.
yeah.
Please, we can't hear you clearly.
Okay, how about now? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay, so same on your create user. Um, so inside your param too, you can also, where is it? Yeah, parameters. Why is it not? Okay, let me delete this guy. Oh yeah. So inside your parameter too, you can add you can generate random variables. For example, let's say you want to do email. There are some kind of scripts that you can add to your value that will generate your random variables. So the same thing, we do them on Postman. So those kind of variables, just for every time you run your test, it's going to generate a new email for you that you're going to use. So you need no worries. Um, all right. So
Okay, thank you.
yes, so we're
I'm
trying
still
to,
getting the authentication field though. even after inputting bearer token in front of the authorization.
It's saying authentication. Can you send a screenshot on the chat?
Okay.
Yeah. So for this update user, it's a patch method that we are using this time around. So you use patch to update. So yeah, I just need to change this to patch. And then I need to copy out this user. Well, let me just copy this coil and put it on Postman for easy access. Let me know when you send the screenshot. Hey,
Mr. Toby.
Yes.
Good evening. Yeah. So please, I have to remove the S from the HTTP before I can get a passed result. I've been having a failed result with the S. So I have to remove the S.
So the question is your past results showing a response like this, or you are
Let me
getting
check.
something like this?
I've sent the screenshot.
Okay.
I'm not sure. On the HTTP, I added S. So it's not as if I removed the S. I think that's why I'm having the issue. I don't know.
Okay, this CPM manager is fine. Let me see.
My response body is showing gender, name, ID, email, status.
Gender, name, ID, no status.
Yeah. But it's not on on one row. They are in different rows.
Okay.
It's curly brackets.
Please send a screenshot again. I'm not sure if I'm already been fixing. Let me know when you've sent it.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, this looks good. That's your create user. Okay, cost of time. So from the screenshot I'm looking at here, your sampler looks good. Yeah, your protocol, your server name, and your paths looks fine, but I can't see. Okay, let me go back to your SCP header manager. All right, so I see that many of us don't have the HTTP header manager directly under the create user. I'm not sure, probably that's the issue, but I'm going to try it by disabling mine just to be sure. And I'm going to enable the global one that works for every request. And I'm going to clear and run. So it says authentication failed. Okay, this doesn't have bearer. Let me have bearer just to be sure. So I save, I clear, I execute, I view results. So regardless of where I put my HTTP domain, I can see that it's still working. I just don't know why yours is not working yet. Let me check again. Okay, can we try something? Mine has accepts in it. So this accepts, let's add it and put the value application JSON and see whether it's going to work. Do you get? For those still experiencing,
Okay, so
yeah, so add accept and application JSON.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Mr. John. Good evening, Mr. Toby.
Yeah,
Sorry, I tried to do that update users now. So I tried it passed. But when I check the response board, that's another big result too. When I check the response board, what I'm seeing there is different from what I put in the body data. Is it how it's supposed to be?
so let me try because I haven't really, so let me, yeah, how, this is the user ID, okay. So let me see, clear, okay, it's not. So let's try something. So when we list user, for get list of user, where is this empty? Okay. So what I'm after is this ID of this user. Yeah, so this guy, okay, it actually worked. Okay, okay, let's try it, yeah. So let me be sure I'm copying the correct ID. So I go to update user and yeah, I have the ID here. And here I use Bola so I clear and then I execute update user. Yeah, it worked. So what you need to be sure, so if you run get, if you go to list user, you see different user with their ID. So I can decide to pick any of this user ID, like this person, go to updates. So I'm going to change this ID to the one I copied. This person's name is, what is it? Can't even see the one I copied. Okay, let's say this Akinola now, 7708814 Akinola. I go to update user, I change it to Akinola ID. Now, if I run this test now, let me clear and run, and I check my, okay, it says, oh, email already been taken. So I think I need to update the email too. Okay, so let's run view result 3. All right, so you can see that the name, yeah, I used them Bola Tito. So if you look at here, I use Bola Tito to change that user. Then if you come to view resource tree, you see that the name has changed and the email as well. So yeah, the update user is working. Try it again and let me know.
Okay.
Mr. Toby, I'm raising my hand for a while though. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, this create user that we have here, I noticed that if I try to clear from the view result tree, maybe after updating changing the name of the email, if I update and I run again, it will tell me that the email has been taken. So I don't know, is it at every time I save and try to rerun that it's getting its points that the email has been taken? I don't know if you get my question.
Yeah, I get your question. So it's just like say trying to update a user email with the current email that's on that profile. I don't know if you get. So let's say you log into your application and your email is Bola Tito and you want to update that email and you're trying to still use the same email, it's going to return an error or a response. So you need to, yeah, that's why sometimes you see some sites, you see current email, new email, or current password, new password, just to be sure you're not using the same data.
Also, I think I noticed that because we are actually using the same endpoint but different parameters. So I think anyone that actually sent the request first will tend to update those particular data there. I
Yeah,
don't know if you
exactly.
understand what I'm saying because we're actually working with the same endpoint. So if you are the first person to submit your request, by the time I send my one and I check my view result, I'm going to see your own updates on that particular list of users that we have.
Yeah, that's very correct. Yeah, thanks.
And sir, it actually passed. I've checked it now.
Oh, nice. Well done.
Suppose I have one question. In your view results tree, how do you clear all these responses that accumulate?
Can you see where my mouse is? This brown.
No, something is covering it. Hold on.
So
Okay,
that,
clear all.
yeah,
Okay.
it,
So are you saying anything?
no, not yet. Do we still have questions?
No,
Uh,
not in the chat.
okay. Um, okay. Before we round up, let me just quickly try out something.
Toby.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not saying, I just need to be sure because of the recording that you're not
Okay.
saying anything.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. I wanted to ask if you could quickly speak to reports, generating reports and interpreting
Okay.
reports. Yes, then maybe how to run it from command line. That's a question in the chat.
I totally forgot I'm supposed to do that today. Okay, let's quickly. I think we should be able to do that in 10 minutes or less. Okay, so let me quickly get the formula I used to use. All right, so let's move on. So now what we want to achieve right now is how we can run our tests on our terminal or command line. Supposed to prepare a note for this, but I'll share it later. So where's my local? So the first thing is we need to navigate to our project folder. Where did I save this? Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it is. Let me create a folder for it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to move this file into this folder. Okay, so next is, so this is now my project folder. I'm going to open it on my terminal. For those on Windows, that's your, excuse me, your command prompt. So you're going to have something like this. Yes, so I'm going to drop a formula for us on the chat. And I'm going to explain what each one stands for. Sorry, my voice is cracking.
So
Yeah, so this is how it looks like. But because I'm using a Mac laptop, I think it might be different on Windows, which I'm not sure. But let me quickly check how it is on Windows. So you can see these parts. What you're just saying is that you need to navigate to where your GMX file is. This might be a bit tricky for those of us that are just starting up. So we have another command here. What this one does is to generate a CSV file. And what this one does is to generate HTML reports. So when we run this test on our
Sorry,
terminal,
Toby, we're seeing your
Your cursor is not moving. No, we can't see anything, sir.
And also,
sorry,
the
can you?
link you shared, is it for Windows or for Apple laptop? I don't know.
This is for Apple laptop. Let me get for Windows and drop it for us.
Okay.
So are we just supposed to open the terminal and paste this shortcut there?
So no, not really. yes, you have to open your terminal, but what makes it work is making sure that this part, so this is just a sample. You can see this home user. So it's just a path to where you stored your GMX file.
No,
In
so
my,
what you're showing us right now is your postman.
yes, can you see the missing charts?
No, postman is what's showing.
How about now?
I don't know if it's just me, but it's postman that I can still see.
This is
Yeah, it's showing
postman,
your
sir.
postman.
So let me reshare. Okay, can you see the Zoom chat now?
No, but what are we supposed to look out for in the charts? Because
Okay,
what we can see.
yeah, the JMeter script URL I shared.
Okay.
They said I've seen my postman, I mean.
Yes, that's what we can see.
Okay, let me put it on postman for us to see that. So can you see this on my postman?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that you need to get the correct path to where your GMX file is on your laptop. So this is just a sample because if you don't get the correct path, it won't work.
Okay. So we have to go to where we saved it and copy the part.
Yeah, in my own case now, this is my on my Mac machine. This is where my GMX file is. So I can just do get info and copy the paths. So if I copy this and I come back here, you can see this is the path to where my GMX file is. That's not all. So I do a search and also reference the file itself. Where's my folder? So this is my file name, which is test1.gmx. So I need to, add that in front. So now this is in my own case, on my own laptop, this is the correct path to where my GMX file is.
So and when you say GMX file, you mean the file that we just worked on now, right?
Yeah,
Not the original, the one we just worked on now that we were saving.
yeah, the one you worked on that is saved on your laptop.
Okay.
Yeah. So same thing, I'm going to change this to it. So I'm going to add the parts here as well, but without the GMX file.
So told me to help. I dropped the syntax for both Windows and Mac.
Sometimes. So lastly,
That part, what is it for? Continue the lantern.
come again.
This part, this user to be done. What is it for?
Yeah, it's just to locate the the folder or where you saved your file on, I mean on your laptop.
Like that is the fine. So what of this download part?
Download. Yeah, so this is just to trace it from my system directory. So like on your Windows now, you have your C/user/ maybe your name slash where you saved. So it's just like navigating your way down to where this file is on your system. I know this might be a bit, that's why I said it might be a bit tricky for some of us that need to, navigate
Very tricky.
getting parts on our laptop. So same thing here. Let's say I'm on um, my documents. This is a file. And okay, let me take it from scratch. So this is the beginning of my system, my laptop. right? This is where everything starts from. Now, if I open Toby Fagos, you see a whole lot of folders, a whole lot of files. If you look at down here, you can see that the path is increasing. Now, if I go to my downloads again, double click, you can see users slash Toby Fagos slash download. Then if I click on, if I click on JMeter now, you can see the path is increasing. So it's just to know the exact path to where your file is stored on your laptop, be it Windows or Mac. And I already told us for those using Mac, I don't know if it's possible on Windows, but I remember on Windows, you can see a search bar or something that you click and you just copy the path. Very easy. I think it's even easier on Windows than on Mac.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So where's my okay, so um okay, yeah, so let's move on. So are we all here now? Have we been able to? Okay, thanks. Please hold on a minute. Ah, ah, I mentioned it. All right. Yeah. So have we all been able to get the parts now? Um, can anyone hear me?
Yeah,
Maybe
Toby,
sure.
the second part might be a bit difficult because you've not shown them how to generate the HTML report.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying to achieve. Okay.
Oh,
Maybe I'll
yes.
just do
Yeah,
it on
that's
my own then. Okay. So let me get this right. Okay. Yeah. So let me copy out this and then navigate to my terminal. Let me come out. So my terminal. I paste this here and I run. Right now the test is running on my terminal and that's done running. But please, can you guys see my screen and the terminal, my terminal, what I just executed? Please confirm you can see my terminal running.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Now, so this test is done running. So I'll go back to my folder that I created, which is this JMeter, and that's where I have my GMX file. So it has done two things for me, created a CSV file and at the same time, a folder that has the HTML reports. So if I open this HTML reports on my browser, this is what it looks like. So you can see the request, everything that ran, create user, list user, everything passed, no error. You can see your chats, you know. So that's what the HTML report looks like. And the same thing applies to the CSV that we saw, um, which is this guy. I'm not sure I can, let me see if I can open this on my system. Yeah, so this is the CSV file that was saved. And you can see the tables, all the samples we ran, the time it took, the URL, the latency, the connects, everything that required. So this is how we run tests on our terminal. Here's my terminal, here's my terminal, yeah. Then another thing to take notes, when you try to run the same request on your terminal, it tells you some file already exists. Yeah, so it said cannot, so it says cannot write to this folder because it already exists. So for every time you want to rerun your test, you might need to come back here and delete these files. So the CSV and the HTML reports, so I move it to bin, delete it, then now I can rerun again. So while you run it, while I rerun it, so I generate it real quick with my folder. So that's a CSV file and generating the HTML reports.
So, Mr. Toby,
Yeah.
in my own end here, I'm using a Windows. It's showing JMeter is not recognized as an internal or external command.
You need to set
Input the CD in front of you before you run the command. Just input CD, then you run it.
CD.
That is what I did, and I was able to see it.
The CD is change directory, so I don't know. But
So you said I should add CD to the front.
so what did you say was the error? Cannot recognize that.
Yes, cannot recognize as an internal or external command.
That's JMeter.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure we can troubleshoot this night, but let me just drop this link for you. Probably you could trace what the problem or issue is. I haven't used Windows in almost, let's say 7 years now. So, okay, so do we still have further questions before we round up? I thought I was going to spend 1 hour today, but I guess the class was becoming interesting and we exceeded 2 hours.
Toby, thank you very much. But on window now, where do I see the folder for my JMeter?
So quick, if you are not sure where you saved your file, just go back to your JMeter, go to file and click save save template test planners. When you click save test planners, just make sure you know or you navigate to where you want to save your folder. If it's download, fine. If it's document, fine, then save it there. Or you create a new folder first and save it inside that folder. So it's easier for you to know where you saved it. So just go to File, Save as Test Plan, and save your work in a new folder. All right, guys. Yeah, JMeter is wide, is beyond this. This is a very good start. With what we've been able to teach, I strongly believe we should be able to run performance test on JMeter. If you ask me what's next for us, it's more around, being able to interpret results. And again, let's make use of Google a lot. All these things, you have your answers there. And when you're unable to interpret a result, you can easily, check online. I think I have some of them on the slide. And But as beginners, yeah, it's good for you to have, knowledge around this, but at the same time, you can also pair with experienced people, developers, to give you more context to some of these, analyzing some of these reports. But again, like I mentioned earlier, let's keep practicing everything we've learned. That's how we become good at it, and that's how it sticks. And trust me, even for every one of us that are still training you guys today, like me, we are still learning one or two things. There's always one or two things to learn every day. This JMeter interface that you are seeing, I can't say I've explored 50% of it, because if you look at all these samplers, probably here, maybe I've made use of just two or three, the logic control, so there's quite a whole lot to learn. But what we've done is to teach you the basics. Yeah, the important things you need to know, to learn, that you can get started with, and you can reuse, anywhere you find yourself. It's now left to us as individuals to say we want to learn beyond our current states or what we've been taught, which is a very good one to do. All right, guys. Thanks for tonight's session. Thanks for the contributions, for the questions, for troubleshooting together. Yeah, I think we can wrap it up here. They might drop PRB before now. I don't know if she's
Yeah, I'm
back.
back. I'm back now.
Yeah.
I just got back.
So over to you. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. It's not recognized. All right, maybe I'll just watch the video. I think I missed something. But thank you so much, Toby. Please let's thank our facilitator for the past 2 nights. Let's see the emojis go. Yes, the recordings will be dropped just like yesterday's recording was dropped. Slides will also be provided. I'm pretty sure Toby will provide us with that in the Slack channel. Like we said yesterday, this information, these details will be provided in the Slack channel. So if you are not yet on Slack, on the ANST Slack channel, please do well to join. And yes, that will be it for tonight. Thank you so much, Toby. We're very grateful. Right.
Yes. Sorry, one more thing. You can also drop your questions on Slack. I'll be there to, attend to our questions and concerns. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. The link to join the Slack channel has been dropped. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Toby. Thank you, Deme.
Night.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah.